What else you have to think about in terms of preventing injuries? So prior injuries and individual differences. First, history of prior injury. Now, a history of prior injury is one of the best predictors of future injury. What that means, let's say that you've had shoulder pain at some point in the past, you're going to be more likely to develop shoulder pain in the future with a training program in comparison to someone who's never had shoulder pain in the past. Okay? What does that mean for that person that has kind of a chronic shoulder injury that goes away every once in a while and then pops back up again, who has this prior injury? Well, they may not be able to handle the same volume or intensity of overhead press exercises than someone who's never had any shoulder injuries. So let's say that athlete that has a history of shoulder pain, and the workouts at your gym, there's 3 workouts this week of overhead pressing. Maybe that person with a history of shoulder pain should only do 2 of those workouts, and modify the third, just because they know they can't potentially handle that same amount of volume. Alrighty. The next thing is there's a tremendous amount of individual difference between people. Okay, so this from my own personal experience, I have a history of hip problems on both sides, and basically, if I do a high volume squatting, my hips just start to bother me. Okay, let's say another athlete, his name is Tom. His knees start to bother him when there's a high volume of squatting. Okay? And let's say Stephanie never has any issues with high volume squatting. She can squat all day long, 5 days a week, and she never has any trouble, but she routinely gets shoulder pain with a higher volume of pressing. Okay? And you'll find this a lot. So unfortunately, we don't really know how much athletes are able to handle until a certain area breaks down. And then you start to figure out, okay, maybe my body doesn't like that high volume of squatting, okay? Or maybe I need to ramp into that high volume of squatting a little slower than someone else does, right? Or maybe my shoulder doesn't like that high volume of pressing. I can't do that much. Or I have to ramp a little bit more slowly into high volume pressing stages, and then through other parts of the year, I need to make sure that my volume stays relatively low because my shoulder just gets cranky when I do too much.